Hello everyone, Allie here, and welcome to the Gold Mine. Thank you for joining me here on another episode at Allie's Treasure Trove. Today is the day that we begin Allie Plays August Takeover, and we're going to be delving into the brand new release from Capcom, The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now you guys, I have been so excited ever since the announcement of this game's release. I never ended up playing the first Daigakuten Saibon A Scarlet Study translation. I do know there was that fan translation for that game. I believe they were working on the second game, the sequel. I never played either of those. I don't know anything except for a couple characters' names. So I am so excited to be going through this playthrough, so excited to go through these games for the first time, and hopefully I can manage to get through all of it while dodging spoilers, because I have done so for a few years. I'd hate to break that streak right here while the game's in front of us. Now, I do have the black screen up currently with the little Aliana chibi. That is because I kept trying to start the intro on the opening screen, and the game music was too fired. I just kept jamming, so I figured, all right, we'll just go into it together. I was trying to listen to it. I let it go through a couple times on repeat, and I was like, oh, there's no good place to jump in. It's all just so fire. So already off to a great start. But anyways, my goal for this playthrough is, as Allie Plays August Takeover suggests, the month of August I'm trying to get through as much of this game as possible. Definitely, these episodes are going to be much longer than you guys are used to. Ace Attorney games are visual novels. There is one ending that you go through. You do get to investigate in the background. You're playing as a lawyer, this time in ancient Japan. You're investigating crime scenes, talking to people, and then you, of course, have your times in court. You may have seen Phoenix Wright memes where it's crazy stuff's going on, interviewing a parrot, cross-examining an orca in one of the DLC cases from Dual Destinies. But I've played through all of the US-released games, and then for the second Gyakuten Kenji game, that is the Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations, that second game unfortunately never got brought over, was originally released on the DS, but I was actually inspired for this playthrough because I had an amazing time watching Nicobe's playthrough of that game. I think he did a really great job. I love listening to him give the characters voices and things like that, so I'm going to see how that goes. Of course, I know it's going to be weird if I just sat here and read the text on my own time and made you guys read it and interjected some commentary every once in a while, so I'll try and give character voices. Not sure how well I'll be able to keep up with it, but I am very excited for this. Definitely bringing something a bit different to the channel, but I ever since the first trailer dropped, I was like, I want to play this on the channel. Now, I don't have the face cam up because when I'm going to be recording this, definitely going to be super late, definitely not looking my best, and, I don't want to be, recording sessions I'm expecting maybe 2 to 6 hours at a time, because the way I love to play visual novels is, I really get into it. I want to go through it. I don't want to give you guys, 6-hour episodes, so I'll try and break it off on parts where I feel like it'll be okay, but definitely don't be surprised if every episode's 2 hours plus. But I don't want to sit here under the ring light melting, worrying about, oh man, Allie looks super crusty in her makeup. Figured, you know what? Also because I've never played this game, but I know in a lot of Phoenix Wright, a lot of Ace Attorney games, even if Phoenix isn't the focus, there's a lot going on screen. So I don't even know where the best position for the face cam would be. So at least for these first few episodes that I'm batch filming right now, I'm not going to be here. I don't think the Aliana chibi is going to stay there either, but she looks cute on screen. I wanted you guys to have something to look at for these couple minutes in the intro, but I am excited to get on into it. So, like I said, the music is so good on this intro, and we'll get to watch the little loading screens and whatnot, but oh, you guys, I'm so excited. Aliana can hang out on the title screen, it's fine. Loading, please do not turn off your PC. Autosave. Oh, that good classic sound. We're jamming, you guys. We're jamming. So good, so good. So I've opened up this window a few times, but that's about it. I haven't peeked on anything else. Aliana actually looks pretty cute down here. Let me move her a little bit. That's cute. That's cute. Maybe if I had a regular Allie chibi, I could keep it in the corner. I was thinking use the other one, but the other one has a little sign where I usually put little emojis or just snap, or on some thumbnails over on the Titan Cards channel put the title of whatever case break, but wasn't sure what to put, so I just figured throw Aliana on screen. Ooh, maybe we can get Allie Phoenix Wright. Actually, when I was in high school, I did FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, and I had this red suit. but I could never find a red vest to complete my Apollo Justice cosplay. It was so sad I was never able to find a red vest. Now I don't think it fits. I think it's actually too big. But that was my go-to suit. So if you were ever at the Anaheim Nationals for FBLA and you saw a chick in a red suit, that was me. That was 110% me, because I don't think I ever saw anybody else with a red suit. Anyway, select event. Well, actually, let's look at special contents. New special contents. I believe buying the bundle on Steam, I got some fancy DLC. View any accolades you've accrued. Taylor, what's this? Alt outfits, accolades, gallery, portraits, moving pictures. Nice, clips. Short extra episodes. In the credits. Cool, cool. Options, let's look at the options. Change various game options. Music on, yes. Effects on. Oh, there's voices! Sick! I won't even have to narrate. Nice. Language. English. Oh yeah, that's true. You can have the Japanese voices, right? I'll use English voices. I don't think the whole game's gonna be fully narrated. I think it's probably just like the objections and etc. Oh, interesting. That's cool. It just plays through the game for you. I like fumbling around. No, I don't want to exit game. Back. Alright. Alright, I am very thrilled to get started. Alright, select adventure. New game. So, Great Ace Attorney Adventures, and then Great Ace Attorney 2. Ooh. Switching it up. Definitely gotta start with the first one, otherwise that'd be ridiculous. Alright, new game. So the amount of knowledge I have on this game is that this is Phoenix, or main character.
Japan, after opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
Bruh, Phoenix Ancestor just killed somebody.
Man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Fake news. Fake news. Bienvenue au la carnaval. Why is it in French? Anyways, well. Nice. I like the retro-y sound. It sounds like older style. I don't know how to describe, but I love that it doesn't sound like the regular games, how it just goes across. Oh, I love the noise though. I love the noise. Anyways, as I was trying to say before I got distracted by that gorgeous animated intro, the only context I have for this game is that character we just saw is Phoenix's ancestor. And I've heard that, I guess, I don't want to say villain, but one of the antagonists against, like, you know, our prosecutor in this game, I've heard, Baron von Zieks, I've heard he's racist. That's literally all I know about this game. As people meme that he's racist, we'll see if he is. And that Phoenix is the ancestor. And that Sherlock Holmes still has some US copyright, so his name is Herlock Sholmes. That's all I've got here for this game, and I am ready. My body is ready. Alright, so we're at the Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber number 5. There we go, that's that classic noise. You know, I said I'd narrate, and then I didn't. How could it be that just beyond the doors to this little quiet chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? Oh, I'm so bad at this. Yo, this room in 3D looks good. What? Oh, no, nothing. Savior glares, murderer. Sorry. Ryonosuke. My name is Ryonosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough! Now, who is this voice? He is not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. This dude's great. I love him. Very impressive. Now, in true Phoenix Wright fashion, I'm assuming this guy dies very soon. That's my assumption here, which is unfortunate. Look at that, that's dope. I like it. Technicalities, look at you, you haven't even graduated yet. This bailiff's annoying, I hate his voice. Who picked that voice? Horrible. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryonosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing! Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by students! But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me! I didn't do it! I swear! I could never murder someone! Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe in you. I know you're innocent, Ryonosuke. The dude is Phoenix. The dude acts like Phoenix. I like it. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend. Also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old, here in Japan, anyways. Okay, I can hit spacebar, alright. I'm sure you guys are like, Allie, get that mouse cursor off screen, I don't want to look at it. Well, you're good now. Sorry. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Cute. Congratulations, Kazuma! Looks like you're going to get a study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. This guy's gonna get mid. This guy's getting mid. Ah, rip Kazuma. I liked him. Oh, man. Oh, man. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. Or maybe we're just gonna ship him off, and maybe he'll come back in the second game. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it, too. Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow, then, partner. I like it. I don't think I planned out their voices very well, though. To be fair, I didn't plan much. I was like, oh, there's another person. Let me make it slightly deeper. And then I feel like they probably sound exactly the same. Have to listen to that on the replay, but it was straight after that. That's when it happened. Sogi, may I have a word? That wasn't a good voice. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Let me revoice this guy. Well, this case has a personal significance to me. But never mind that for now, Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. That sounds sus. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then.
I shall accompany you.
Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. She's cute. Is her name Susato? Question mark. Yeah, the animations in this game look so good. Ugh, this is awkward. He's just staring at me. If I may. Yes, sorry. Sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, yes, that's right. Hi, that's me. Hello. My name is Eugene Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic science at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? As I suspected, you are unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? That's a question I ask myself every day. Why would the government do that? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it, I swear! I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Are we fighting a racist guy? Is that what's gonna happen? Sorry, what do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Cheeky. He looks like that smiling cat meme. Right, so... Soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. You're getting proposed to, bro. That's it. You gotta shack up with the judge to get innocent. What? Who said that? I do? But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Be like, I accept them, but they're fake. Of course not.
Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once.
Oh, I gotta give someone. Ooh, I should give. Ooh. Who do I give Kermit voice? I gotta give someone Kermit voice. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are about to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. What? Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours.
What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Jeez, hurry up! Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyways.
Oh, they're racist. This is it. If the trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence, and the trial that would decide my destiny. I know the voices are horrible, but I'm having way too much fun. 22nd November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom number 2. Ryunosuke and I share the same level of stress at any given moment in time. So this is a courtroom. Oh god, this is a courtroom. Oh, somebody help me. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I already lost the Kazuma voice. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. They look rude. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? Why? That's a good question. It'll become clear in time, but for now... You need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Oh my god, it's Winston Payne relative. Alright. What voice do I give the judge? This is much harder than I anticipated.
The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Ouchie. His name's Ouchie. Is his name Ouchie Payne? Or is that just his last name is Ouchie? And becomes Payne at some point in the future lineage. I mean, that is an Ouchie. This is great. This is great. See, I want to give this guy the Kermit voice, but I also want to save the Kermit voice.
The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency.
As is the defense.
Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate.
That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself.
normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for the final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial?
Reneske, yes, me. This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Why is it highlighting answer I do? Why did it highlight that? Do I have to change something in options? If it does that another time, I'll look in options. I don't want it to spoil anything for me, like the correct answer. Let me make mistakes, man. Let me be trash. Anyways, Your Excellency, no confirmations needed. Let me get that off screen. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate first. Polite. He's polite.
Yes! What is the meaning of this unruly outburst?
I would like to inform the court that, I, Rinosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself! You'll
be... what?
What are you playing at, Ryonosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. I was like, bro, you're stupid. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off. Bruh. No, it's not that, really. It's just that... well, on the off chance things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel. Which is why... exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in.
Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
Got him. Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so? Naruhodo-san. Bro, this dude is just living anxiety. I love it. Ryonosuke is my spirit animal. Oh, yes, exactly. That, yep. No idea what you said. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. Shh. Bro, I'm going to jail. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed.
As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly,
The very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo?
Yes, Your Excellency.
it is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken.
My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am.
So let's start with the very simplest of questions.
Yes!
Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case.
Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I'd care to remember. But, wait. There's more! Ugh, I'm so nervous, I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryonosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. Alright, where is it? But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of E. Okay. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press E for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. Press that E button. There we go. I like it, the pin. Try switching to people instead with an E. Cosmo. I'm 23. Oh no, he's 23. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press Z to go back. Alright, that's gonna be a problem. Alright. Goodbye, hotkeys. Oh, I'm just deleting the hotkey right now. I'll have to remember that at some point. Press Z to go back. Alright. Now this guy. Kotoba. This guy was sus. Cosmo's mentor. Kaketsuchi Ouchie. His name is Ouchie, bro. His name is Ouchie. John H. Wilson. Visiting professor of medicine at UMA from the British Empire. Alright. Press Z to go back. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Alright, I want to click on these though. What's that? Post-mortem report. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Alright. Alright, I've already partially solved this case. If Ryunosuke shot him at point blank, it literally would have went out the other side. He's so close. So he got shot from far away. Nailed it. Boom. Done. Solved the first case. Kind of. I know what to press. I know what to press now. Alright, I cheated. I didn't. I just big-brained it. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Let me get that off screen. Now, you better not keep his excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, then press R to present. Try it now. Yes! 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 The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. I didn't say it with enough anxiety.
Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to UMA University 3 years ago. That's kind of long for a visiting professor.
Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. Allied treasure trove. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations.
There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation, except Ryunosuke, who looks super panicked. Like, I've never heard of such a thing in my entire life.
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor?
I didn't do it, dude.
This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter.
In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why the trial has all these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going.
Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer.
Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner.
The British Empire? Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go and say hello. Very kind of you, Ryunosuke. Good job. Except, don't do that. So I went over to the professor's table, and he was dead. I don't know what happened. Oh, no, he's actually alive still. Interesting. And introduced myself to Dr. Wilson.
Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency.
How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death.
The cause of death? Well, obviously, that was, not me. Ryunosuke, remember that in courts, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Look at the court record. Oh my goodness. Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now. Right. Present or... Yes! Yes! Well... Aw, this is cute. According to the documents, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma.
Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem reports, I take it.
Sorry, yes! That's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draw conclusions that way. Ah, interesting. No autopsy reports. Oh, I see! See, in Japanese, that would translate to naruhodo. This is meta. This is meta. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. In one ear, out the other, am I right?
This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. Ouchie, ouchie. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range.
Why is the bullet not in that stake back there, bro? Got him.
Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record.
Photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court record. He was shot from the front in the chest and subsequently died. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. That's pretty nice. Imagine the first photograph you ever seen in your entire life is literally just a picture of a corpse. Be a bit awkward.
Very well, I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
Ugh, this is it then. I think I may have worked out what Professor had in mind. The Professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I could still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Cosmo Sogi must not be the defense lawyer in today's trial. Really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Cosmo. Please don't let me go rot in prison. Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. If only you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. He's got a point, though. Look at that thing. It's very majestic. This guy's sus.
Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at the Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Why is it... This guy is Rona. Maybe as... what would be more... time period appropriate? This guy has a disease. Are you okay? You seem to be coughing up some, The good thing is a napkin. It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really should. You should probably go get that looked at.
As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago.
Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident.
At once, sir.
No petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Oh, perspiring, maybe, but aspiring? I don't know about that one.
It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have a few diners at that time of day. Or just a few diners. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied.
That fits in with my memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. Well, that's not looking good for you, Ryunosuke. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on, let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him. I didn't do it. My voice was a little too accurate.
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections.
Let me see if I can practice that objection. Hold on, I'm gonna roll away from the microphone.
Objection!
Let me know in the comments how that was. I think it was trash, but hey, I mean, you never know. You never know.
The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur!
But he didn't see anything. He said he was in the kitchen. Gosh.
Next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you'll be penalized, defendant Naruhodo.
Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. It's called cross-examination. For now, you must just quietly listen to the witness.
If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today. Does that sound right? Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around at that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. What? Wait, what did you just say? There was no one else around that table?
What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. Dude's just wrong. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello... Ooh. There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. Because he was in the kitchen, he didn't see anything. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Alright, let me look at the options. G. Gameplay. Screen flashes. Turn screen flashes off. Yeah. Wait. The screen flash is still on. We'll see. Next time, we'll see. Bruh, you're wrong. Yes! Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection! Objection! Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all?
No, I'm a student. But I'm sure of what I saw. Osanaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to.
Let me see. A sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume.
That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well... That just looks like you put a hit on him. No one else's chair is marked. It just looks like you killed the dude in the seat. That's what it looks like.
Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter.
Thank you, sir.
The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
Oh, well...
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
Of course. Here you are. Well, what was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Oh wait, this is Cosmo. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Because he's sus. Wait, this man is literally just dying. The waiter's business card has been entered in the court record. Stop coughing! Nobody wants to hear that in 2021.
So the court has now heard a
What?
precis of the case.
Is it supposed to say precise? What? I need a dictionary.
Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here.
No.
Defendant Naruhodo,
Yes, Your Excellency!
if you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In
other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment.
I called this waiter as an
unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
You just said there was no one else there. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Ouchie. What do you think I should do, Cosma? Cosma, help me, please. Don't just stare at me. Help me. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm gonna be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Cosmo said, bruh. Are you kidding me? Everyone keeps telling me that. Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities, whatever that word means. You said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. Yeah, I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this, you know? As I said from the outset, I believe your innocence. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing to now throw that trust back in my face. Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just gonna abandon that duty? Are you just gonna give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. That's true, we actually haven't started the trial. We haven't cross-examined anything. That's true. That's true. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Ooh, point. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. I love the expressions in these animations.
Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchie, please continue with the proceedings. Well, you are warned. The young can be so reckless. As you know, many call me a saint, but I could be a devil when I want to be.
Ugh.
In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever.
Public execution, nailed it.
The prosecution calls its next witnesses.
But no one else was there, right? Right?
Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once.
What are those?
Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Academy Sergeant Ayesanosa. Ayesa. Nosa. Ayesanosa! Oh, is that the joke? Yes or no? Is he gonna flip-flop?
Reporting for duties.
No.
Reporting for duty, sir.
Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Cheerio! Correcto! At your service! Oh my goodness.
An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
It must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Correcta. Myself, I habitually take the tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. And not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. So I picked a good voice then. Thanks, Ryunosuke. Breaking the fourth wall. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. Why is the British restaurant French? He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of the most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir! It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who had loaded his firearms, sir! This man's as impossible to understand as the other. Great, I picked good voices. I'm having a lot of fun. I botched like the first 5 people. I think this is good, but I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. You didn't notice by my profuse sweating? You literally commented on it, Cosmo. Come on, I thought we were bros.
Now the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that incident occurred.
Yes, sir, standing by, ready to report, sir.
Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon.
Why is he shaking? Also, why are we doing 2 at once? This is something I've never done before. What the witnesses saw. Alright, what'd you see? I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back. What? The cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Why do I feel like the old dude dropped the gun that was on the floor? Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. Nosa, he didn't. Got him! You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir! Affirmative, sir! That wicked university cadet, sir! The cruel and unforgivable enemy! Oh my god, this dude just pulled out a knife, bro. Put that away. What times we live in when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. Korekita. I like it. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Bruh. Yes, all I did was pick up the gun I saw lying on the floor. All I did was pick up a lost gun. Who just loses a gun? Why is it on the floor? Why is it my fault this random dude got shot and died? Who dropped the gun on the floor? I didn't do it. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I just saw a gun on the floor. You mean you don't just see guns on the floor? I thought the professor dropped it. I don't know, man. I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, somebody got shot. Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these 2 witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now.
As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring the despicable student to justice.
Unfortunately, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this.
Yes! I love this boy. He raises his hand. Ryunosuke is too precious.
What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst?
The defense demands its right to a cross-examination.
Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic.
Don't crap on his headband. That's cool. I want one like that. How did he know?
The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. I don't think that got picked up by the microphone. I gulped into the microphone twice. Kazuma is so commanding.
Very well. Let the defense conduct the cross-examination of the witnesses.
Alright, so this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? And fire the gun, which means that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it, and the key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you! That was a weak slap. Alright then, it's all or nothing. All or nothing! I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. I want to press it. Ugh. I gotta get rid of more hotkeys. Alright, we have officially broken the snap. We broke the unsnap earlier. Now we broke the snap. Now you guys know what my hotkeys are. Q and Z. I was like, what are keys I don't hit on the keyboard accidentally often? Or on purpose? I was like, very rarely type Q, very rarely type Z. To press, we have to snap.
Yes!
Yes! Why aren't you saying anything? Is this some new interrogation technique? I hadn't actually thought of what I wanted to ask. Just ask about anything that catches your attention. Anything that bothers you. Alright then, how was your steak? Oh my god, dude. This beef steak that you mentioned, what kind of food is that? It's meat. Attention! Beefsteak is a delicious cut of veal, vigorously cooked on a cast iron grill and served piping hot! Oh. If food could receive medals of honor, beefsteak would almost be as highly decorated as a cutlet! Right, I see. Thank you, sir. So, next question. This cutlet you mentioned, what kind of food is that? Attention! The cutlet is a delicious cut of veal tossed in breadcrumbs and deep fried in cooking oil. Accept your guilty verdict and atone for your crimes, and when you're released from prison, try it! Yes, sir, I will, sir. On the double, sir. Sorry to interrupt, but how about trying to stick to questions that are relevant to the case? Oops, sorry. I'll do my best. So, next question. Is it just me? Or do you keep hearing a sort of wah crying? I heard it! Negative! Where is there a baby? The baby shoot him? I was hearing a weird noise before. I didn't hear it the first time that Ryunosuke mentioned hearing a weird noise when he talks, or maybe it was Cosmo. But I thought I heard it a few other times, but, you know, I keep screaming over it, so that's not very helpful to me hearing it, but we heard it. Well, at least we learned that he's a big beef lover. Affirmative. It's not easy knowing what questions to ask. Prime Presser. I love, that's one thing too, that this is the Alley Plays Takeover is gonna be forever. Because I love pressing everything. I love these interactions. When else are you gonna get to hear me scream about poor Cutlet, you know? It's not easy knowing what questions to ask. Alright, then this hold in. Myself, well, this is this guy's voice. I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. That doesn't sound right. Myself, I was extolling... No. What was this guy's voice? No. I'm so bad at my job. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's action with my own eyes. Wait, no, hold on. I want to go back. I want to go back. Forgot to press. No. I want to press everything. We're going around. We're just going around. We're just going around. I understand that. The question is, how? The key to this is using evidence that you've collected. I know to present the not autopsy report when he says from the back. But I want to press. Alright, I'll give it a try. Good luck, partner. Alright. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. Yes! What was the curio, bro? I have no idea what you're talking about. That's a good answer, Ryunosuke. A koban, boy! A koban? You mean an old Edo coin? The day prior to the incident, a treasure of exceptional value from the Heian period entered my possession. I took myself to the restaurant the following day, with said item secreted in my bosom pocket, in the hope of an affluent cognizant appraised of its indisputable value being present. I've lost this guy's voice. So you were hoping to sell your koban coin to Sergeant Nosa, whom you met at the restaurant?
Yes, it's quite clear where you're going with this, boy.
Rude.
You were about to assert that a penniless soldier would have no hope of purchasing a precious koban. Isn't that so?
Well...
You little upstart cadet! You want to add disrespecting a superior officer to your list of crimes, do you? Blatant subordination!
No, I didn't say anything. Although penniless might just be the word I was looking for. In any case, no. Hold on. In any case, the hour was already advanced beyond that of the midday luncheon. There remained a precious few present with whom I could engage in discourse about matters of business.
The gentleman beside me, who was grappling with his braised veal at the time, was my sole prospect.
that precise moment a fire was discharged, I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes.
Yes!
Yes. So, you're saying that you actually saw me at that time? Affirmative, I saw you! Laughing, cackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of your gun on the English civilian! That's impossible! Allow me to confirm just 1 point, please. What's that, Private? Thinking carefully about the statement you just made, it seems to me that it must have been just after you heard the gunshot that you looked over to the victim's table. And so what if it was? Well, if that really is the case, it would mean that you didn't in fact see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun. Ah! And double ah! My sixth sense! Sorry. My sixth sense of danger! I picked up on the waves of murderous energy radiating from your foul mind! Which means, a split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, Cadet! Surely that's not really possible, is it? Do you think I'd have gotten to where I am today in the Army if I couldn't sense danger in the air, son? What is crying? It would seem that this soldier is absolutely convinced that he saw you do the deed. This is not good. The black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, like the cowardly little weasel.
Yes!
Yes. So this black uniform university cadet. So you're saying that was? Oh! I've had just about enough of your sauce, cadet. Who else do you see around here in a black uniform? A lot of people. Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but... It was you little weasel! You unloaded the firearm on that man! From behind his back! And you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon! You disgust me! Ryunosuke's like, what is crying? Also, why does he think I'm a soldier? What is it, Ryunosuke? I'm not quite sure. It's something that the sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you've gathered in the court record. And if you find an inconsistency there with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court. Thrust it in the witness's face and make him choke on it. That's a bit much, Cosmo. I can't figure out how to go back. Wait, Z-key was back, right? Present with R. If I mess up, too many penalties. And I can go around as much as I want. Thank you, partner. Alright. Okay, Z-key is back. Alright. He says he saw it. It's fired from the back. Let's present some evidence. Gunshot to the chest. Take that! Keyword, you guys... Fun fact, you guys know you did it right if the music stops. Ryunosuke says nothing. What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting this wad of papers in my mustache! Inconsistency, sir! I mean, yes! There's a clear inconsistency here.
What nonsense! can this document possibly tell us that we don't already know?
Oh, you tell me, read it. Ouchie. Well, obviously that, I know what I want to say, but the word just won't come out of my mouth. Sure, sorry, I'm just kidding.
I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom.
This is so frustrating. Ooh. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Are we sure Cosmo's not, like, Phoenix's ancestor? Are we sure? What?
What are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance at the post-mortem report presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant Iesanosa. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What, sir?
The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the Englishman, on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no, that just can't be.
Now, why not, cadet?
Because, as is clearly stated in the post-mortem report, fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma, no exit wound, bullet did not pass through the body. A photographic print of the victim clearly shows the same thing. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? There's a baby. What the heck? What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. This is whack-yo.
Certainly, there's a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa?
Yes, sir! At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the fire and discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious Le Carnival steak, sir.
What?
The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Iesanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all.
Ugh, that's absurd.
I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Got him! Alright, Cosmo, nice one. Got him.
Yeah!
Achievement unlocked, inconsistencies here. Nice. There's been a complete turnabout of the mood in this trial from just that one discrepancy. He's so cool. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. You love to see it. Meta.
But I definitely saw him! That university cadet there, he was pointing the fire directly at the victim's back!
Yes!
Yes, because I picked it up off the floor. But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor.
And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either.
Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. This guy's sus. You don't just say that and start shaking. Treasure. Indeed. Nahoy Eric Koban, my prize coin! Bro, chill out. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habit to place my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest for my shop, Rosute. In hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered my Hoy treasure. Believe that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not. But I was presented with a little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished.
The Koban vanished?
Hunting around under the table I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there. And then it happened. You heard the gunshots, you mean? Indeed I did! But I heeded it not, for I was only concerned with finding my absconded Hoy treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? Did this dude get shot with a coin? Did the professor get shot with the coin? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoy Koban was lost to me. No doubt, some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself.
As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon.
Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels, it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now.
What is your position, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gates, but he will find a wolf at the back.
Ryosuke's like, what does that even mean? Oh god, what does that mean?
My witnesses have further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could have possibly committed this despicable crime.
The creepy old dude. Or the baby. Part of me wants to pick the baby. But I feel like... Wait, no. Maybe. That weird waiter dude that has Rona. Maybe. He slingshotted the coin. I don't know. I keep forgetting about the other sus dude. Because he's just gone. He's not an official witness, which is weird in general. But anyways.
The equally despicable defendant, Ryonosuke Naruhodo. What?
Excuse me? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Ugh.
Very well, the court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation.
Is that clear?
As clear as kitty cuckoos, Your Excellency.
Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir.
Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think.
Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up in the ranks, sir.
I don't know, sir. Moments like these where I wish the face cam was on, So you can just see me stare into the screen with disgust. It would seem that those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Item! Attention! Your father's about to quell the enemy! Watch and learn, my boy! It's kinda cute. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the fire was discharged, it's almost the same thing! Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was, that young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. These testimonies... Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. How many times do I have to tell you there is a weird chick there?
Please, enough of these outbursts already.
There was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
Objection!
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact.
Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, counsel?
Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident.
Why is the fort playing with the knives dirty? Is he stabbed? No, the knife's not dirty enough to be stabbed.
As can plainly be seen, there is only one place set.
Yeah, maybe she was doing typical girl things, like, I'm not hungry, but wait, can I have some of yours? Can I just have a little piece? Can I just have some fries? You know, I wasn't hungry, but then your food came out, and I was like, you know, can I have some of that, please, please, please?
Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else.
Ugh, this doesn't make any sense.
The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record.
Carbonated water and a steak. Okay. A little bit of a weird combo. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. That's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him.
It will seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt.
These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takatsuchi Aochi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor.
How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. Be like, bro, we just had this whole segment on how it's your right to cross-examine. And then he's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's like, bro, just cross-examine. Just press every statement. Just press it. Had a little water break there. Now I'm ready to punch my throat to voice Winston Payne's ancestor some more. I don't know, Cosmo. This seems like a lot.
The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick. Understood? Rules can be so unbending at times.
Ugh. Even what I saw wasn't the precise moment of the fire was discharged. It's almost the same thing. No, it's not. We're gonna ask you some questions on that. Excuse me, sir. No, it's not the same thing at all. For start, I didn't fire that gun. We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of a uniformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. I don't think so.
Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked.
Did you? Did you see it?
Did you see it? Did you see me blink?
How could I?
And yet, it's an undeniable fact that I did blink. So there you have it.
Have what?
Attention! The sound of the firearm rang in my ears, and the very next moment, I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman. I think that says it all, don't you? Let us not forget that the antiques dealer witnessed the accused in the most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so? Correct, Susan?
This man ain't seen nothing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was that young lad in black. That much I myself did see. I thought you were too busy looking for your coin that you literally didn't see anything. You said you didn't care about anything else. Nothing could stop you. Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time. But I've told you already, that's only because I picked it up off the floor.
Well, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away.
I had just finished drinking my coffee and I was about to leave the restaurant when I randomly found this gun on the floor. I noticed the gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And exactly at that moment, a gunshot rang in my ears. Should have been like, hey bro, is that yours? That's what you should have done, Renoski.
Full of events beyond our control, life is.
Sorry, what do you mean?
In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predicament. Whereas, conversely, I failed to pick up the Koban from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as well. Anyway, that fact remains. Myself, I did see you, with pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed we were the only personnel present.
Yes!
You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
Objection!
Objection! As you've been at pains to point out time and again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman.
If only there had been more people dining there at this time, then someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know. Of course the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect.
Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of the time to eat. What if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone?
Yes, Your Excellency, there indeed was a reason. There was? It seems important. Ooh. This is why you gotta press everything.
This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. What is that, Counsel? It's a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant.
At the clinic? Yes, there would indeed appear to be an entry for the date question. 19th November, noon to past 1 p.m.
Very day of the incident.
So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointments. The explanation couldn't be more simple. Prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case.
Let me take a look at that. It's not in the court record yet, okay. I wonder, what do you think, Ronosuke? Well, it's starting to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as evidence or not? Why? Okay, gameplay. Turn that off. Alright, so I think between this episode and the next, I'll just close it out and reboot it and see if that changes the settings. If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency.
On what grounds?
Grounds that I asked for it, a-hole.
The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues.
I beg your pardon?
You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence.
Very well. The court will grant the defense's request.
Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's a most disturbing trend.
Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record.
Alright. Let's go take a look at that. What we need right now is new clues. Alright, that doesn't help. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you.
You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you'd like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witnesses' testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused. Korekata-san. Indeed, alone he was the Englishman, dining all by himself.
Yes!
So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone. I didn't see nothing.
That I did. Forgive me for the position I placed you in. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? Let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. As can clearly be seen, there is only a single beefsteak on the victim's table, a meal for one.
No. The antiques dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea.
Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out! Sorry about that, buddy.
Why aren't you telling the truth?
What? What did you say, cadet?
I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed, but for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible.
Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's just not a case of these two witnesses alone.
Sorry?
The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone.
That's right.
Precisely. In no other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady.
But I...
If such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. And if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatant waste of the court's time.
There's nothing I can say to that. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. Can we, read the medical report? Is the dude, allergic to meat or something? That would prove that it's not his plate. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes. This is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are ones you may examine. Press space. You take a closer look at the piece in question. Okay, use the arrow keys. To rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. What's this? Okay. Interesting. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that you may have missed before. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, press space to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learnt by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I need to use these keys to inspect any areas of the evidence that look suspicious. Alright, required for every visit. It was bent. It was bent corner. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. And there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. This man can't eat meat. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. It's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. There's a cautionary note from medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure. Until anesthetic effects have passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. That sounds important. This new information. The meaning of that one particular particular statement totally changes. So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. Alright, let's skip that. Skip that. Alright, Z. We should present E.
Yes!
Yes! I love his stress levels. I've never related to an animation before this much. Well, I think, About what are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer! I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I am the accused. Ryunosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Cosma. I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully. You knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright. Thanks for the advice. Whew. Correct-san. This is a medical report card belonging to the victim. Ah, I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement, something clearly doesn't add up.
Objection! Objection! Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur?
Sorry, what?
You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel.
But
Let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant.
well, that's where you're wrong, buttface. Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your points.
Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could have possibly perpetrated the crime.
This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that?
What? That outburst half petrified me, boy! Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant?
Perhaps because Hata Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic.
A dental clinic? What is that supposed to mean something to me?
Perhaps if I told you that the victim just had a tooth extracted?
What's this now?
And furthermore, if I told you that as a result the victim had been forbidden from eating? You think that'd be important to you?
What are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what?
It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off.
What? No, that can't.
Correct-san.
What, boy, what?
As you just heard, when he was killed, sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all.
No.
Additionally,
There's more?
you have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the side effects of the anesthetic.
Ah!
Expertly done, partner.
Objection!
Objection! What is this nonsense, you little upstart?
I'm jamming.
These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence.
It's just not his food, bro. It's just not.
You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Yeah, that's the point. That is literally the point. Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic?
How dare you?
I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Ryonosuke? Yes! Most definitely.
Having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pigeon beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel?
Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of your turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it! So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been me! What? Why is it... The victim himself? It makes no sense. Oh. Does that have to do with the keys? Perhaps it just was a coincidence. Ah. Oh. I'm gonna go back to options. I'm gonna turn screen flashes back on because I don't know what those are then. Ah, so it's just actually, it's literally just a highlight. That makes sense. Me! 'Twas me! Dio! Witnesses. No, it's the weird chick. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
Objection! You'll not let this go, will you? There is no such person!
Yes!
Yes! There was, because I saw her! When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly. Cosima.
You insane? You would take on the government?
Don't worry, Council. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have the issue with them, those two witnesses on the stand.
What?
What are you talking about? You have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury.
Perjury?
And, since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing.
Complicit in murder? No!
Ooh, someone said hold it.
Negative! There was no mention of this in the tactical meeting!
What?
I was just following orders! That's right, as the man says. Just so you never saw the gentlewoman, that's what they
Told us. Who? You want to say who told you that? You want to tell us who told you that? You want to speak a little more? Correct us? You want to talk about that? It might be important.
Oh. What? What did you just say, Correct-san? Oh, no.
You were just following orders?
Now hold on, lad. I was,
Say you never saw the gentlewoman? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with the lady from overseas?
Objection!
What is the meaning of all of this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? Just one simple slip of the tongue. Order, council, explain what is going on here.
It's painfully clear now. You prevented these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this.
Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut?
Well, that's classified.
So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you?
You wouldn't. This can't be happening.
Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Ouchie had anything to do with it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can confirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly? Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Yo, check out that dude's business cards. He's sus. That's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose.
I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe.
Please, wait! Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this! I swear to every Shinto god! I knew nothing!
What does the defense have to say about all of this?
Well, Your Excellency!
No time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout the first name that comes to my head. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is... the guy himself! Satoru. This guy's sus.
Yes!
Yes! Oh, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san?
Hosonaga-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier.
Objection!
Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? To cover up a murder? Duh. Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not have possibly have that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If that is, the man truly were a waiter. This guy's Edgeworthing right now. What? If he truly were? Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. Truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity as proven by this evidence. I want to examine it. The plan of the restaurant raises a number of questions, I think. Definitely. It's supposed to show the relative position of everything in the moments following the incident. But there's nothing to show the woman you say you saw there. Exactly, and that's not all. Look here in the upper left where it says kitchen. Oh yes, one of it. No one would use those complicated characters to write kitchen, especially not if they're in a hurry. I mean, you don't remember those characters yourself, don't you? Study harder, Ryunosuke. I think this big axe over this dude is suspicious. Oh. That's some evidence. The Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. That would do it. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga? Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. Learn how to read, Ryunosuke, Jesus. It's not the name that's unexpected, it's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau? Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here... Alright, let's go back. Present that ish.
Yes!
Yes!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything.
Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back. The back of the card that's of interest.
I beg your pardon?
Or perhaps I should have said the front? Yes! It's the front of the back of the card! That's where the telling detail is. Flip it over.
Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say?
Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession. His true profession.
The waiter's profession, but that's surely... Good gracious!
That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene?
Well...
Susboy. Inspector Hosonaga. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized there was a possibility.
The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
Oh, well...
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
Of course. Here you are. Then he started dying. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
You mean to say you really are a detective?
Why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course. Your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there must have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at the liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide.
Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga, but you will elaborate on one point for the court.
Of course, Your Excellency.
We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would have also been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner, therefore I'm led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct?
Bro, wipe your mouth. Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. As I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshots, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. Sauce Lady. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything else at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. That's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right! Phoenix, right. Ouchie. Yo, Cosmo's headband is lit. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Cosmo? UMA University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean? When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it was prudent to check her identity first.
And the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector!
The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was certain Miss Giselle Brett. I don't get the joke with the name. Giselle Brett. Giselle Brett. Not getting it, not getting it. She's indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of UMA University's medical faculty.
What? What is happening here?
One thing I'm really appreciating this game is, like, at first I was like, why is there multiple people on the stand at once? It's weird. But in older games, you'd have people going back and forth, but you could only show the single sprite, and it would just switch between everybody. I like that you could view everyone. I like the back views. The animations are crazy here. Man, I can't wait for Ace Attorney 7. I was hoping for a trailer earlier this year. That didn't happen, but man, I'm so excited. I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with this situation.
Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
But, Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom.
Ugh.
Inspector Hosonaga!
Yes, sir. Is her name like Jailbrat? Is that the joke?
You locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with utmost urgency.
Ooh, I'm curious to see what she looks like. At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you'll be going against the special orders you're given from the police bureau.
Dude's like, not my problem. My pay sucks. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem? That's nice. At least this dude's happy to do his job. And he's like, hey, that lady was kind of sus. Maybe those instructions were a little weird. Let's see what happened here. Or maybe he's just super sus. I don't know. Nothing will get in my way. This dude just out here spreading tuberculosis.
Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes! Your Excellency!
Good. And we'll have a 30-minute recess before reconvening.
Ooh, to be continued. Ooh. Save my progress, please. Right there. Save right on top. Yes, overwrite that. 2:34 a.m. Save completes. Trial part 2 is what we're about to get on into. I'll probably go ahead and get on into that next, but y'all are gonna have to wait till another day. Yeah, super fun here. I feel like I'm finally getting into the hang of getting a hold on these voices, but I'm having an absolute blast here. I'll definitely have to review the sound, make sure things are good, especially on that one officer. I tried to lean further back so that I could scream with all my might, but I might have to actually tone down the actual audio capture for this video. But you guys, I am having an insanely fun time here. But all good things must come to an end. This will be the end of our first episode here of our playthrough of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. First episode of Allie Plays August Takeover, and I hope you all enjoyed it. So if you guys had a great time, enjoyed it, love listening to the voices, love seeing what's going on here in this game. Obviously, we know this lady is very suspicious. She'll be coming out, curious what she's doing. At first, I was thinking, that waiter, maybe he did something behind the scenes. And then I was thinking that old man is like, he lost his coin. Like, what if some gun, it was fired with a coin? Because they didn't know an autopsy report. They don't know what actually went in there. No, I don't know. Where's the missing coin? I feel like that really might have something to do with it. Did the lady steal it? Like, what's going on here? So I'm very excited to find out. Hopefully we'll find out in the next episode. So if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure you go ahead and smack that like button. Comments are me. Let me know. What was your favorite voice? And should Baron Van Zeeks be Kermit voice? Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you're not yet part of the Allie's Treasure Trove family, I'd love to have you join me here. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, before I wrap up this video, I do have to give a big shout out to all of our patrons over on Patreon. Thank you so much, you all, for your above and beyond support of the channel. I really, truly do appreciate it. Now, since I am filming several of these episodes in advance, if anybody has joined or if anybody has unfortunately left Patreon, it won't be super current. It's, of course, up through today. So, currently do have 4 Ultimate Excavators, Jack Perez, Keith Muna, Mako, and Stephen Olivo, 2 Gemstone Miners, Andon and Stephen Bly, and 1 Crystal Collector, John Michek. But thank you so much to all of my patrons, whether you're on a tier in which I say your name at the end of every episode or not. I really, truly do appreciate it. So thank you so much for that above and beyond support. But that does it here for our first episode of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I'm very excited to get on into that next one. So you know what? Hope you guys will join me as we do some more investigating tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, and hope I'll catch you here in the next video. Bye!